Hi, I'm Tori Stepp.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Keener.
I'm Chelsea DeLong.
I'm Shauna Maynard.
And I'm Cheyenne Jude.
For our group speech, we have chosen to talk about the effects of the declining coal industry in eastern Kentucky. As you all know, eastern Kentucky is very dependent on the coal industries. Many of our families work in the coal industry. Statistics show that layoffs have left about 6,000 employed, in contrast to the almost 15,000 who were employed just 5 years ago. This huge decrease in employed people shows just how drastically the coal industry has changed. Eastern Kentucky production decreased by 11.5% in just the first quarter of 2015.
Ever since the decline of jobs in the coal industry, poverty has become an uprising problem. Nearly every county in eastern Kentucky has lost jobs between 2000 and 2010. Even before the mining started deteriorating, children who grew up in Appalachia were living in poverty. Now, with the addition of the plummeting coal industry, 1/3 of the region lives in poverty. No jobs equals no money. Therefore, the loss of jobs through the coal industry is going to make a major change in the lives of eastern Kentuckians. Coal miners make an annual salary of $60,000 to $80,000 per year. Going from that salary to relying on government checks will be financially depressing. People who struggle financially will develop major anxiety and depression. In the worst of cases, some people will kill themselves to relieve financial stress.
WSAZ has reported nearly 2,000 less coal jobs in 2012, and this number has only increased as the years goes on. Once the coal industry goes down, it will have a domino effect on almost every other job in eastern Kentucky. Think about the coal truck drivers. How can they haul coal if there isn't any coal to haul? Think about the electricians, welders, roof boaters, shovelmen, strip miners, pinners. Not only the coal miners are going to lose their jobs, but many other professions will decrease in eastern Kentucky because they will not have a place to perform their jobs without moving to a different location. Railroad workers and train drivers will lose their jobs as well. Without having the coal to ship the trains they can't run. With no trains running, we don't need people to build railroads, fix the trains, fix the railroads, or maintenance on the track. Let's face the facts. Our dads, cousins, uncles, brothers, grandparents, they didn't go to college. All they know is mining coal. The coal industry was booming then. What do they expect? Eastern Kentucky to just fall off the face of the planet? To become a ghost town? I mean, for every one coal job, an additional 3.5 jobs are created elsewhere. It keeps 500,000 people on a job earning a paycheck. I know they would have a job if they had a college education, but back then the coal industry was so big it didn't matter. They didn't know that coal industry was going to crash. They can't go back in time and get a degree. All of our jobs just can't be robbed from us. What will be left?
People are being forced to leave eastern Kentucky every day due to the fact that there are no jobs. Besides the declining coal mining jobs, there are no other jobs. As stated previously by Shauna, soon eastern Kentucky will be a shell of what it once was. It seems no one cares about the fate of our small towns. What many do not realize is without these small towns, Kentucky would not be the place it is today. Forcing people to have to leave the only home they have ever known is horrible. If they want to do away with the coal mines, they should be willing to put something else here so we can keep this part of Kentucky alive. People say it is our own fault because we could go to college and do something with our lives. But it is easier said than done. Many people were not born with a silver spoon in their mouth and have to work hard every day for everything they have. Growing up in a place that is degraded daily and in a place that is stereotyped as good-for-nothing hillbillies is a hard and it is a struggle to get a business to take you seriously if you mention being from these parts.
Another result of the coal industry declining is that we are taking away money from our government that is already in tremendous debt. When coal miners lose their jobs, they have no other job opportunities because they have no education. This forces them to depend on government money such as unemployment and Social Security checks. They have no other choice if they want to stay at home besides to rely on monthly checks from the government. Over half of personal income in eastern Kentucky come from government benefits, and this number is only increasing due to coal miners getting laid off. If our government would support and create more coal mining jobs, they could be saving money because there would be less of a demand to draw checks.
And speaking of government funds, have you heard of coal severance? Severance taxes are incurred when non-renewable natural resources are extracted within a taxing jurisdiction. Coal severance taxes are collected and go into the general fund. Some of this money goes towards the Workers' Compensation Fund, mine safety teams, and university scholarships. The government then splits the remaining funds down the middle. One half of it is put back into the general fund. The other 50% is evenly split between the local government assistance fund, which is used to fix roads and improve one's local community, and the local government economic development fund, which is used for scholarships. Without co-severances, millions of dollars are taken away from the economy. When money is taken away from the economy, people and businesses lose money. When a community loses money, it can also become dangerous. Things usually covered by co-severances, such as freshly paved roads and federal building upkeep, are abandoned. Families begin to leave, and a place many people once called home become a ghost town.
Now, I know you've heard it, but I'm going to say it again. Coal keeps the lights on. It is an abundant and affordable resource. It supplies half the electricity consumed by Americans. Surface mining operations alone provide enough energy to power more than 25 million American homes. Electricity from coal costs Americans about 6 cents per kilowatt, which is one of the lowest electricity rates in industrialized nations. If they force us into using windmills, we won't be able to afford it at all, considering we won't be left with any jobs anyway. We have to keep the lights on. We have to keep the heat going in our houses. We have to keep our stove going to cook with. I mean, do you like a real good hot shower? I guess you like coal then. Think before you speak next time. These coal miners work their butts off just so your hindman can take a hot shower.
The question is, how do we fix such a big problem? If we had more support from the government in an effort to make coal mining jobs, we could prevent or reverse all of these problems. Coal mining here in eastern Kentucky has many more years of work. It is not the lack of coal we are missing. It is the lack of support that we are not getting from the rest of the country, because they don't understand or care about eastern Kentucky. The coal industry decreased in such a short amount of time that nobody saw this coming. Nobody had the time to go get a college degree because they thought they would have a stable job for the rest of their lives. No one warned them about any of this, so now most are left with no job and no education to have an opportunity to make a good living by doing anything else. I believe that the coal miners of this generation should get to finish what they have left to mine, and we should prepare the next generation to go get a college degree so that they can have a stable job and make a good living. Getting rid of coal right now is not the solution. This is all we know, and the only way to provide for our families. The government should not be fixing something that was never broken. They have much more important issues to worry about. They also have much more important things to spend their money on besides a new source for electricity. Although people may look down on us for being from eastern Kentucky, our home has made us who we are, and we are blessed to have been raised in such a hard-working and loving place. As Loretta Lynn says, we are proud to be coal miners' daughters.
People may ask why we need coal. Many of the non-coal supporters say, if you can give me one good reason why you need coal, then I'll support it. All the reasons stated above are more than enough. People who do not see their family struggle have no idea what it's like. I have seen my dad struggle and rake and scrape to make sure there is food on the table and shoes on our feet. I've seen my dad change and become depressed due to not having a job. He risked his safety to provide for his family, and now he is hurt and can't hold down a job. So the next time you say coal mining or strip work is not hard, look at my 40-year-old dad who was disabled at a very young age. My dad has cried because he's felt worthless and he is afraid we couldn't provide for us. To see my daddy like that breaks my heart. Now my brother, who is 22, goes out every day and goes to work and risks his safety on one of what I consider the most dangerous jobs there is. And he works so hard to help us out. And if my brother loses his job, it honestly scares me to think about what will happen to our family. I'm beyond proud of my coal mining, hard-working brother. Until you have seen your family, wonder how your electricity bill will get paid, wonder where your next meal is going to come from, and wonder if you're going to have food on the table. Until you have seen this, you will never know the true struggle of a hard-working coal miner who is used to supporting his family, then is left with nothing. So don't you dare say it's no big deal. Don't you dare say, well, we'll be fine, because you do not understand. People say that coal isn't necessary, but next time you take a hot shower, flip a light switch on, go home to a warm house that a coal miner who has busted their hind end to get that coal out of the ground so you can have these things, and he is probably worrying about how he will get his Christmas presents for his kids while you're sitting back enjoying the luxuries that come from coal.
Personally, I have seen Facebook posts and have heard people speaking negativity of our region's coal miners. People say these coal miners are complaining about not having a job, yet they are not doing what it takes to have one. and I'm tired of it. I know for a matter of fact my dad does what it takes for his job to provide for my family, and has for my whole life. When we are going to bed, he is leaving for work, busting his butt, and not getting home until the morning. I love my dad and appreciate coal miners like him. I just wish other people could see the hard work they put forth and could appreciate them too. Every time a coal miner goes under, they are risking their lives, never knowing if they'll see the light again.
My hardworking daddy woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day, on time, ready to put in every single ounce of energy he had, yet no one appreciates it. I know in my heart that my dad would protect and support me with everything he has. Now he's 52 and he has black lung from the coal mines, just so he could provide for my family. Before you say coal mining is the easy way out, think again. I mean, do you have black lung?
My dad had to sacrifice his time with our family and miss many milestones when I was a baby. He was a coal miner for 20 years. 20 years of his life that he had to work every day of the week to support our family. He has also sacrificed his health to provide for us. He has major hearing loss and lung problems. My dad has an 80-year-old body at the age of 66.
For as long as I can remember, my dad has worked extremely hard to support my family. He's left home and traveled 2 hours away in the early hours of the morning and the latest hours at night. He's taken dozens of tests to be in the position he's currently in. Most of my dad's adult life has been devoted to coal mining. In 2010, my dad was enjoying a baseball game with some buddies during one of his few days off. On his way home, he received a phone call and was asked to gather his mine rescue team and report to the Upper Big Branch mine in Raleigh County, West Virginia, to retrieve 29 miners who were trapped after a big explosion. It took many troublesome hours to reach the part of the mine the men were anticipated to be in, only to find the fragments of what used to be 29 hard-working, beloved fathers, sons, husbands, brothers, grandfathers, uncles, and many more. I don't understand, and I never will understand, why non-supporters of coal are so insensitive to coal miners. They were not only working to support their family, but to support you too. How does that make you feel? Like Shauna said earlier, coal mining is not the easy way out. My grandfather and uncle were both killed at the very young age of 33 by a rockfall in the mine, trying to support their families. I grew up with the constant fear that the same fate would happen to my father. I am very grateful for my dad. He has worked so hard to provide for me and my family, and has made sure I had everything I wanted and needed. Thankfully, my dad hasn't had the same fate as his father, brother, or those 29 miners, but not every coal miner can say the same. They too have met a tragic end. Every time a coal miner goes underground, they are risking their lives, never knowing if they'll see the light again. So wake up. Coal is paying for my college.
Coal is my family's way of living.
Coal keeps the lights on.
Coal isn't the easy way out.
Coal is Eastern Kentucky.
Coal is us.